Good morning. Welcome to our E3 Weekly Market Report. I'm Pat McClatchy. Exports have just come out. We're going to look at those and see the reaction of the market. We'll start with cotton. Let's see. We've got cotton number at 84,600 running bales. That's down 60% from the previous week and down 44% from the 4-week average. Turkey took 17,800. China took 14,600 and Indonesia took 8,300. Looking for any other news coming out here about cotton. All right, let's look at the reaction. May cotton was down 113 just before this report came out. Right now, May cotton is down 137 at 60.27 with a low of 60.21. We will let you know that December cotton was down 101 just before the report. Right now, December cotton's down about 110. Let's go now to soybeans. Soybeans had a net sales number of 455,900 metric tons. That's up 8% from the previous week and up 10% from the 4-week average. Increases were shown for Mexico taking 146,300 metric tons, Indonesia taking 74,900 metric tons, and the Netherlands taking 73,800 metric tons. Soybeans were down 6.5 in May just before this number. Right now they're down 6. November soybeans were down 6.5. Right now the November soybeans are down 5. Let's take a look next at corn. Corn number, I had to make sure I could see that correctly, 1,135,800 metric tons. That's up 20% from the previous week and up 21% from the 4-week average. Japan took 396,700 metric tons. We've got South Korea taking 240,800 metric tons. And Mexico taking 161,500 metric tons. May corn was down 2 3/4 just before the report. May corn is down 2 1/4 right now. December corn just before the report was down 1.5 pennies. Right now December corn is down 1.25 pennies. So not much reaction in the corn. Next, go to wheat. Net sales of 124,700 metric tons. That was up noticeably from the previous week, which was a negative number, but down 41% from the 4-week average. The Philippines took 66,000 metric tons. Mexico took 39,400 metric tons. Brazil took 23,000 metric tons. May wheat was down 1/2 before the report. Now it's down 1. July wheat before the report was down 1/4. Right now July wheat's down 1/2. So not much reaction there. So negative reaction in cotton, but we were already negative to start with. And the bean number's down 5 now, so it's strengthened up about 1.5 pennies. Corn strengthened up a small amount, and wheat's about the same. Let's talk about the markets and recent history and what we've been doing and what we expect. Start with soybeans. Back on March the 2nd, which was 6 weeks ago, we made our low in soybeans. May soybeans got down to 856. Then we made our high on a good bounce on April the 14th, which is today. That high was 959.5 made during the evening. That's a full rally over that period of $1.03.5, just a little over $1, but it had rallied that amount during that period of 6 weeks. The question is, why have we seen that? We've seen better demand. Weather in South America, wet weather in South America has been a problem for some time, and some optimism over China. Some of the releases coming out of China, economic releases, are showing that there's a possibility that that economy is starting to strengthen again, which will be supportive. What to do? Well, with this very good rally we've seen, and given the fact that this is the time of the year when we normally see seasonal highs, it's probably a good idea to look to hedge some new crop soybeans. The market right now is trading in new crop soybeans. The November is at 961.5, expect that market to back off possibly toward 920. The market's very overbought. It's at a dramatic move up. There reaches a time when markets need to correct, and we could be at that point right now. Let's talk about corn. May corn, we made it our low on April the 1st. That low was a price of 347.5. Then we had a rally. Actually, the high was made yesterday, April the 13th, of 374 3/4. We saw a 27.5-cent rally over that period of time. Why have we seen it? Better economic news coming out of China, as I'd mentioned. Argentine weather also being wet and moving in sympathy with soybeans. Soybeans started its move first, and then corn lagged behind, but eventually started to move up. Also, somewhat off of short covering, I would think, too. What now? Resistance in May corn is up toward 375. Right now, May corn is at 372. Looking for this market to have a correction just like we are in soybeans. What to do? Farmers should consider doing some hedging, some pricing of their crop, or or the selling of futures or options, whatever you normally use, and look at the new crop. New crop in the area of 375 to 380 would be the area to consider. And right now, that new crop corn is trading at 383.5. So it's in that area right now, and look for that market to move back down. And this is also the time of the year when you have a seasonal high. So there could be an opportunity here to do some marketing. What about wheat? Wheat has not really done what corn and beans have done. It's been more of a sideways market. On March the 2nd, 6 weeks ago, we saw our low at 451.5 in May wheat. Then on April 4th, and this was 8 days ago, we saw our high of 479. That was a 27.5-cent range. But right now, we're in the middle of that range. We've sold off. We're looking at May wheat right now at 461. So it's in the middle of the range at the moment. Why has it moved? In sympathy with beans and corn, most likely. They actually have had negative news in that market, weather conditions that have been favorable for wheat production, and that's been a negative. What now? Expect resistance up toward 480 and support down toward 445, and that's basis the May. But looking at July, what actions to take? Possibly look to doing some selling or hedging up in the area of July wheat at 475 or better. And July wheat right now is actually 467.5. The thing about wheat, it has a very reliable seasonal. If it gets over into the first part of May, it has a tendency to move down sharply for as much as a month. So we're approaching that time period also. So that's it for the grains. Let's look at cotton. Cotton market, we made our low on February the 29th, a month and a half ago. That low was 54.53 in May cotton. We made our high yesterday, April the 13th, at 62.37. That's a rally of 784 points. Why did we see it? We saw heavy spec selling in the market. The market had gotten very oversold. It got low enough to start uncovering some mill buying. It started to rally enough that we started to see some speculative short covering, and when that started happening and we got above 60 cents, it almost was a house on fire, and it continued to rally until we saw enough liquidation. What now? Well, let's just talk about where the market is. We're seeing a pretty big pullback right now. May cotton is at 60.40, down 123. July cotton's at 60.28, down 101. December cotton's down about 95 at 59.35. We had been dealing in cotton just a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, and most of the experts were saying we would have a hard time getting above 59 to 60. We were a market that was basically worth 54, 55 to the downside, 59, possibly approaching 60 to the upside, and that was what cotton is worth. Some things have changed. Some statements out of China coming out saying that possibly they're going to make their cotton prices more competitive with world prices, and indicating that they'll be opening up that market, and we could start seeing demand pick up. That's what some of the fundamental analysts are saying. But it's still a market that's probably a sideways market. The sideways has been redefined. It's possibly now 58 to the downside, 62, 63 to the upside, with a chance that you could drop as low as 55, you could rally as high as 65, and that's kind of what we're looking at in the market. What to do? Looking at doing any hedging or starting to price cotton. If it can get above 60 again, right now December cotton is trading at 59.30, down 100. But markets above 60 are going to be met with pressure from hedge selling. We saw it on this rally. It moved up in sympathy with old crop, but it will probably continue to see hedge selling, commercial selling as you get 60 or higher. So that's really it. That's what the exports have seen on the day. Let's give one more update on where the markets are. May cotton down 127 at 60.36. May soybeans down 4 1/4 at 951 1/2. May corn down 1.5 pennies at 372. May wheat down 1/4 at 461, down 1/2 at 461. Nothing stands out about any of the other markets that we look at. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining us for the E3 Weekly Market Report. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.